Last time on Ghost of Yotei.
All I care about now is getting my people to safety. Can you let me say goodbye before you take me in?
You're going with them.
Eh?
These people need Lord Kato more than I need the bounty on Shiro's head.
I don't know what to say. I guess the Onryo is more benevolent than I heard.
That's enough. Now, get out of here before I change my mind.
I don't have much left from Jigoku, but I can at least pay you for today. Thank you for believing in me.
And Shiro, good luck.
Hola amigos, Ghost here, and today we continue our journey into Ghost of Yotei. After exploring the castle grounds and its hinterland, Atsu marched north to deal with the remnants of the Oni Raiders, trying to link up with Lord Saito's main army. Atsu made short work of them. Returning to the castle, Atsu expected payment from a Lord Kato, but this Lord Kato was in fact Shiro the Swindler. Shiro nearly lost his head to an angry Atsu, but the truth of his dealings here, to save civilians, convinced Atsu to help one last time. After this, Atsu learned that someone had put a bounty on Kojiro. Atsu prevented Kojiro's death at the hands of Ronin and Saito's army alike. With the threats dealt with, Kojiro revealed that he did this himself to draw out allies of Lord Saito. He is lucky Atsu doesn't see him as an enemy. Now, Atsu must follow the lead on a legendary blade of storms and uncover the legacy of a ghost. Let's do this! For today's chapter, we will be discovering the myth, the Storm Blade, as well as finding the Blue Dye House. But before that, we'll be returning home to upgrade our weapons. It is fitting that the first weapon that we upgrade to its max potential will be the katana. Specifically, the perfected katana, which will make it the max damage we can get. It costs 60 metal, 15 gun parts, and 15 rare metals. And with that, we get like father, like daughter, which I assume is for upgrading the katana to its max. Next up, we will be perfecting the dual katana. It costs 60 metals, 15 gun parts, and 15 rare metals.
When we finished that first blade, I'd never felt so proud.
Today might be the day we finish this blade.
It is, I know it.
Soon, you won't need my help. You will forge a blade on your own.
Really?
That is a blade we can both be proud of, and they will love it.
Oh! We helped forge Hanbei's sword, which we now utilize ourselves. Oh! I didn't know that. That's cool. Very cool. And now, we will perfect the Yari. It costs 35 Oni Raider mask pieces, 10 gun parts, and 10 rare wood. Then, the Kusiragama, we will perfect it. 35 Shinobi steel, 10 gun parts, and 15 rare metals. And finally, the Odachi will be perfected. It costs 60 metals, 15 gun parts, and 15 rare metals. And voila! With that, all of our main weapons have been fully upgraded. Well, all that's left now is to upgrade our ranged weapons, and we'll do that soon enough. But yeah, it's very fascinating that all those flashbacks while we were upgrading our weapons was actually meant for the dual katana, because we helped build the dual katana that now we utilize from Hanbei. So if you think about it, obviously it's a fictional story and everything, but fate has a funny way of playing out that we built that sword for Hanbei, who then lost his arm dueling against Lord Saito. And because of that, we were the ones who eventually utilized the weapon. And that just makes a lot of sense, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. And would you look at that? Blue dye house. So much blue.
Come, stranger. It is safe to trade here if you wish.
This color reminds me of the sky on a summer evening.
I always thought of it as the ocean during a calm storm. It is a pity to see both soiled with gunfire smoke these days. But perhaps carrying their colors gives us the strength to survive these trying times.
True. Let us see. We have a wolf blade, a tanuki's mischief. If I remember correctly, a tanuki in Japan is a species similar to a raccoon in the North America. So I think this is another Sly Cooper reference. Though I could be just going insane. Either way, it looks pretty cool, but I'll wait to buy that because we need a lot of flowers for that. We also have two for the mercenary attire, Blades on the Coast and River Gem. I think I like Blades on the Coasts better in terms of its color, but I think I like River Gem's design more. If that makes any sense, I like the wavy feel of ocean with that versus the random squares / triangles on here. Still good regardless. Then we have Archer in the Water for the Dragonfly armor, and it actually looks pretty nice. The blue colors look very well with the goldish and light and metallic looking pieces of the armor. Finally, we have Water Lily for the Spider Lily armor. I like the blue elements, but I think the goldish orange type of color is a little weird I think it looks good on the actual armor pieces, but the robe parts I feel like could have been a different color. Could have actually been maybe a white maybe, or even more blue, but it's not a bad recolor at all. We also can get vagabond straw hats. Another day, another path, and it's similar to that of Shiro's, but with, I think, different colors, mostly blues.
I hope all this war ends soon.
Hopefully, but we have to kill the dragon and the spider to do that, and then finally Lord Saito, so it may take a while, but the war will end eventually. Now, it is time to head south to discover the myth, the Storm Blade, and to find the old shrine to do it. People speak of a powerful sword lost in Oshima Coast. Could be worth finding. And if I believe I am correct, this is Jin Sakai's sword. I had a feeling, and I'll probably be confirmed about this in a minute, I had a feeling that this game was going to have a mythical tale about Jin Sakai. It only made sense. It makes sense. And if the next game takes place in the Meiji period, I have a feeling there will be a mythic tale about Atsu, and maybe even another one about Jin. It just makes a lot of sense for there to be a mythic tale. Oh, we just discovered a Pillar of Fallen. I'm curious, where is that? Oh, it's one. Okay. Forgotten Shrine.
Ah, my favorite wanderer.
Ugetsu, what brings you here?
I seek a katana called the Storm Blade. Supposedly, it ended up here in Oshima Coast hundreds of years ago. The sword is said to be so powerful that it contains the strength of an unstoppable storm.
Sounds like quite a sword. I'm sure you have a story about it.
That's the problem. I'm not sure which story belongs to it. If you find it, I'll be able to tell you the Stormblade's tale once I see it.
How would I find this sword?
The bits and pieces of the tales I've heard all say it's somewhere in these hills, up this path behind me.
Might as well look around.
Indeed.
No one's tended to this place in a long time.
Oh, it is a forgotten shrine, after all.
Some sort of fox shrine. Looks ancient.
The Storm Blade.
You don't look like the other foxes around here. Where are you off to?
With that logo I just saw, that symbol, this is definitely about Jinsekai. I'm so happy.
Where'd you go? Why did you leave me here?
Muy interesante. Sounds like some of it. Is that a... That's a singular set of spider lilies. Interesante. Why would it be there? Also, sounds like some of Lord Saito's men are trying to murder us, but they can't find us because we are too busy trying to find the Storm Blade. It's interesting that that single thing of spider lilies is there. I don't think they would just grow in a single pair like that. Why, hello there. I'm just gonna bow to it. Oh! Oh, that's cool. I had a feeling it was something was gonna happen if I bowed to it. I wonder where that fox went.
There you are. Do you know how hard it was to get up here?
Glade of Remembrance.
What's this? Someone wrote a haiku. Looks like it was written ages ago. Alone, far from home. Old friends, never forgotten. cherished sacrifice. Whoever wrote this was in pain, but proud.
Bro, I'm about to tear up, bro. It's... They brought the haiku music back just for that. And why do I have a feeling like this fox is like a spirit of the homie? Because it disappears with ease and comes back at the right moments. He just disappeared again. Indeed. Is that all those banners?
There you are.
Lost Shinobi Den.
What is all this?
This is where he lived, isn't it? His last home.
Someone was storing weapons, supplies, enough to fight a small war.
His own ghost army.
A rusted iron hook. Too old to be of any use.
Taka's iron hook. Bows. Jesus, man.
A saddle. Looks like it carried its rider through countless battles.
Our old horse's saddle. Is that? It is. The Sakai helmet.
Never seen a helmet this old before. Looks like it's
Oop.
been through a lot.
You bet your ass has been through a lot. I gotta look at it. Stag helmet. Surprisingly, it's, even though you can see it's been very much damaged over time, battle worn, with cracks and everything, it's still surprisingly held up for several hundred years. The heirloom of an ancient samurai clan, worn in countless battles and passed down generations. One horn appears to have been broken by a Mongol blade. Moi. Oh man. Oh man. And there's a slight roof entrance too, which leads up that way. I assume we have to go that way though, but what could be over here? Nothing, I guess, but... Or no, there is something. I assume we're supposed to follow Fox that way, but this has to be something else. Or maybe that's the right way to go.
Someone went through a lot of trouble to keep this hidden. Could this be the Stormblade?
It is. It is the Stormblade.
How long has this been here?
Oh! How dare you!
Ninetales?
We have been following you for some time, but now the Stormblade is ours. Slit her throat.
I'm coming for that sword!
Bro, I was about to tear up a little bit. I heard his theme song, bro. You bastards, give me back the sword. It doesn't belong to you. I will rip your throats out. I will rip your damn throats out if you dare damage that blade. You bastardos. There he is. Come back here.
I'm right behind you.
No! Swim, just swim. I'm sure there's a way out. Yep, it's over there. Luckily we have enough oxygen to get there.
Look who's back. I'm glad you found me. You wouldn't happen to know where that Ninetail ran off to, would you?
If I remember correctly, Jin's mother said that the fox spirits watched over Jin. What if this is Jin, reborn? Oh my god, that is... Oh, that is beautiful.
This place... it's beautiful.
Home of the first shinobi. Oh, the music. The music. Bro.
Someone's house. Good place to hide.
Not just somebody's house. The somebody's house.
The Stormblade's owner must have lived here. Burned adoption papers for a clan Shimura.
He rescued those? From the fire?
Looks like an herbalist's set. Once used to make medicines. And poison. This flute is extremely old. Might be a family heirloom. Who knows how many times it was passed down.
Our flute. Our flute.
An old dagger. Someone etched a name onto the blade. Yuna.
That was Yuna's? It does look like Yuna's. Those are kids' drawings. Did Yuna and Jin actually end up together? Did they act... I'm so curious.
Fresh footprints. Might be the Ninetail who took the Stormblade.
Oh, most definitely. They took it.
He must have gone through here.
Mm-hmm. This is where they went. Time to get it back. That blade does not belong to such bastards.
Wondering why my men never return. Your reputation is well earned, Onyo. Face me!
Gladly.
The man who owned this sword was the first shinobi. He was unstoppable. Now, I'll be unstoppable too.
We'll see about that.
feared the Stormblade! Here I come! This sword will grant me control of the winds! You'll be one of thousands cut down by this blade!
From one ghost to another is the trophy I just got. The Storm Blade. You have learned the Dance of Wrath technique. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, perfection. Perfection. You bastardos fucked up now. You dare steal such a legend's blade? You're all dying today.
Ugetsu? How do you get here?
By boat. I saw this fox on the shore, and it seemed to want me to follow it.
That fox led me to the Stormblade. I don't recognize this crest. Do you?
Twin mountains in a circle. Of course. It all makes sense now. The Stormblade is part of a tale outlawed by an old shogun hundreds of years ago. Long ago, the Mongol horde set its eyes upon a small Japanese island. Although greatly outnumbered, a band of brave samurai rode out to face their invaders. The samurai were annihilated, but one fallen warrior rose from the ashes and single-handedly pushed back the Mongols, armed with his katana, the Storm Blade. He cast aside the way of the samurai and adopted what we now call the way of the shinobi. With the Storm Blade in hand and the howling winds at his back, the warrior defeated the Mongols and freed his home. But he also broke the very code that forged him, making him a wanted man by his own people. The samurai who was no longer a samurai had no choice but to flee his home, never to be seen again. No one knows where he went. However, some say he spent his final days here in Ezo.
So this is where the former samurai fled. The man you spoke of sounds like a hero. Why did the old shogunate outlaw his story?
Perhaps the shogun saw him as a threat to his authority. A legendary hero who defied convention and succeeded where the samurai failed. Empires have fallen over less.
His name may be forgotten, but his story won't be.
I'll be sure to spread his legend far and wide. As for the Stormblade, I believe it has found a new master.
I'll put it to good use, and I will honor his sacrifice.
And with that, the Storm Blade has been completed. If you are the spirit of Jin Sakai, I hope you are happy in your last days. I will pet you first.
Thanks for the help, little friend.
Goodbye, old friend.
You were a true warrior. Thank you for your Stormblade.
And the ghost mask, once worn by the legendary warrior Jin Sakai. This mask struck terror into the Mongol army and hid the pain of the man who wore it. To some, he was a friend and hero. To everyone, he was a ghost. And I'm equipping it immediately to honor him. And though it is worn out a bit damaged, it is still beautiful as the day I last seen it in Tsushima. Rest in peace, my man. We will honor your story. And all I gotta say is, man, a beautiful way to continue his legacy, add to his story without him even being here. I know some people felt like the sequel to Tsushima should have been about Jin, and there was definitely a way to continue his story. But for those who watched my series and also watched the bookends about Jin Sakai and Minamoto Yoshitsune, his story, Jin's, very much mirrors that of Yoshitsune's. And with how the Mongol invasions worked, it makes too much sense how he ended up here in Ezo. Just like how the Shogun branded Yoshitsune a traitor. He fled and eventually found a new life here. Whether it was alone or with a small band of people, it's a beautiful conclusion to his story, even if some people may have wished for his story to have continued. And a part of me wishes it did, but at the same time, I see how unrealistic it was because the first Mongol invasion not only invaded Tsushima and Iki Island, but also Kyushu. And even though that the first invasion ended within weeks, the second invasion was much larger, and most of the fighting occurred on Kyushu, which is the third or slash second largest island of Japan, unless you count Hokkaido. Actually, you can count Hokkaido. Hokkaido's, I think, bigger slightly, so a third. And unless they were going to add a good portion of Kyushu along with Iki, you would still be fighting the exact same enemy, similar story beats and everything. There was definitely ways they could have done it, but it makes more sense to move on from his story and to send them off the way they did in the Iki Island expansion. And with this mythic tale, I think it's the best way you could have done it. Other than going straight on to like the very much a Yoshitsune parallel with him defeating the second Mongol invasion and being forced to fight his fellow samurai and be forced to flee, forced him to end up being here. It would have been a great tragic game, but I do think the way they did it is the best way they could have done it without doing that, because a lot of people may have been like, oh, he needed a happy ending. There was no happy ending. Just like how Yoshitsune, decades upon decades prior in real life events, didn't have a nice ending. Jin was not going to have a good ending if he stayed on Tsushima for after the second Mongol invasion and everything. And it just makes sense in how they did this. And it's just a beautiful send-off to his character. Some people may disagree and say he should have been in the second game. It should have been about him. But to me, I think they made the right choice. the home of the first shinobi and the grave of the warrior of the storm. Oh man, all of these name titles it's just beautiful, man. It's just so beautiful. And of course, let's take a look at the Stormblade itself. Jin Sakai Sword Kit. Once wielded by a legendary warrior, this blade defended Tsushima and Iki Island from the first and second Mongol invasions. The shogun then tried to break the blade and its owner. To save his allies, Jin entered self-imposed exile. He was never seen again, but his legend will never be forgotten. So I was correct. He did fight in the second Mongol invasion, and if we were to have a game with that, a lot of Kyushu would have to have been added to make the game not a copy and paste of Tsushima. Because if we did have a sequel for Jinzakai, we're gonna be in Tsushima, and to be honest, in 7 years, not a lot's going to change on the island, other than buildings being repaired, forts being repaired, maybe an additional fort here and there. But most of the island, and including Iki, was going to be roughly the same. You can't add too much to that unless you add extra buildings, extra villages, extra activities and everything. And even then, it could get stale if you just repeat Tsushima again. That's why Infamous, even though I think some people didn't like that they did so, when they moved on to the second game, they went to an entirely new city. Because if you play the same exact place over and over again, it's annoying. The only way I would see that it would be different is kind of like with the GTA, because I think GTA 6, the new one that's coming out, is set in. I'm not gonna try to remember the name of the city, but it's a city that players were last in like 3 games ago. So there's a difference with that type of series versus this type of series, because if we played as Jin again on Tsushima, Iki, and possibly Kyushu, a lot of the same stuff's going to happen over again because not that much changed compared to the first and second invasions. And like I said, this right here, it just confirms the parallels between Sakai and Yoshitsune. It just confirms them because the shogun saw him as a threat, just like how Yoshitsune's brother saw him as a threat and tried to kill him slash banish him slash turn him into an outlaw, make him get hunted down and killed. And the only difference, it seems like, compared to Yoshitsune and Jin, is that Jin decided, like, I'm not going to risk my allies, my friends' lives, so I'm going to just leave Tsushima and travel to Ezo, which makes so much sense since Ezo is outside of the shogun's control. Ezo slash Hokkaido only started to get slightly colonized slash developed, and in during this period of time, during the Edo period, during the third shogunate's period of control. And even then, like I said previously in other chapters, it didn't exactly gain massive control over Hokkaido or Ezo until towards the Meiji Restoration, over 100+ years later. So it makes sense that he would self-impose exile there. Just like how Yoshitsune, during his life, retreated to the northern tip of, I forget the name of the main island of Japan, but he retreated up there, which was at the very end of the first shogunate's control. And compared to Yoshitsune, he survives. Jin survives and lives possibly to the ripe old age. And clearly, whoever his family was buried him because clearly he had children with those with all those children drawings on the wall of his home. That means somebody he had children with somebody, possibly Yuna, maybe, or someone else he met here in Ezo, because unless his skeleton's going to just show up like Altair in Revelations, somebody who knew him had to have buried him. So he definitely was able to move on, live a new life, and to have children, have a family and survive compared to Yoshitsune, who died tragically. So there is a slight alteration between the two parallels, but I can see the parallels even more. So if Jin ever did get a second game, if we were in a different timeline where Tsushima came out and then we had a sequel to Tsushima and then we had Ghost of Yotei, that sequel would have just been the second Mongol invasion, maybe some battles in Kyushu, and then him going tragically, being in Ezo and possibly with Yuna or meeting somebody else and starting a family, but still being basically alone in terms of his suffering and his pain. Because depending on which ending you had, you abandon basically your uncle slash father, or you kill him, and it's just like I said, the way they did it, beautiful, and I think it was the correct way of doing it. Could they have pulled it off if they did a direct sequel to Tsushima? I think they could. I think they could have pulled it off, but I think they played it. I wouldn't say safe, but I think they played it the more smart way because it allows us as the viewer slash player to theorize slash think about how all those events could have played out. With me as a non-practicing historian slash semi-historian, seeing the parallels between Jin Sakai and Minamoto Yoshitsune and seeing how Jin Sakai's story ends, it just makes so much sense now. It makes that bookends chapter that I made make so much more sense. It's not just a theory. Granted, it still technically is, but this just basically adds to that theory. It's like, yes, they were seeing the parallels, and they did that. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. It's just beautiful. It's straight up just beautiful that we were able to get such a mythic tale to this, to be able to honor his legacy in this game, not just for this game being existing, to carry on the Ghost of franchise, but also to carry on his legacy within the game. And if we get a third game in like the Meiji restoration period, I could see them doing a mythical tale about Atsu, or both Jin and Atsu, or during a game during the actual Sengoku Jidai could be an actual direct descendant of Jin, because clearly he had to have had a family if he was buried, and also those kids' drawings. There's so much potential, just so much potential, and I love how they did it, and it leaves open the possibilities for things in the future. Like the Ghost of Tsushima movie could be, if they do it, could be the sequel to the game itself, and could tell his final story, part of his story. It makes sense if that's the way it happens too. And yeah, I know I'm just blabbing on about, but honestly, it's just beautiful to see this occur. And it makes me just wonder, because he clearly had followers that somehow joined him or gained new followers here at this Shinobi Den at some point during his life, or maybe one of his descendants did that to protect Ezo from bandits and raiders and such. There's so many open-ended questions that I love that they leave open-ended for discussions to be talked about and such. And I know some people won't like it. I know some people will love it. I'm one of the ones that love it. But I think they did the right decision overall in this way. And it makes so much sense historically. It adds to the parallels. And it's curious. What is all this? Oh, we could travel back to the coast this way. Interesting. Also, there's a lot of arrows here. Wonder what happened here. But yeah. Let's return to the coast. Oh, that's is that one of those yeah, it is the altar of reflection. I remember there was one right here. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, to be honest. It just makes a lot of sense the way they did it. It makes sense, and the parallels between him and Yoshitsune just are even greater now, in my opinion. And Yeah, I love that this game did that. It's the best way to do it, and I'm definitely gonna be rocking the ghost mask on just about most of my armors now, and definitely will use his blades on some of the armors. Now I might make two different cannon versions of the cannon armor, probably one with the storm blade because it just works. And now the real question is, growth wise, we still have that one. We have the ability of the storm blade. I'm curious if it doesn't look like there's any new upgrades, but I assume it just upgraded the original three strike ability that we had. Uh, don't remember. I forget where was it. Originally the Oniro. Oh, it's there. I just noticed. Yeah, the ability that we're looking for to wait to unlock. It's this Dance of Wrath. The Oniro strike grows stronger at and attacking and disarming up to 3 enemies. So it becomes the Dance of Wrath, which was one of the abilities he learned throughout his story of the game. And God, like I'm gonna end up just rambling, but I hope everyone understands my points about what I'm referring to. I think it's a good move. I love what they did, and yeah, that's all I got. Um, I'm just happy the way they did it. And now let's do this auto reflection since we're right here, and we will do the horse charge efficiency. We're actually close to maxing out our entire skill tree, surprisingly. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying, but yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't know, it's just, when I heard the music, all the things we did in the mission, it's just beautiful. With that completed, it is time for us to liberate the Oiso fishing village, to continue honoring the Storm Blade, to continue honoring the first shinobi, the first ghost, Jin Sakai.
Gunpowder! Useless if it
Good work, Wolf. It's time we deal with the last of these bastardos. For the ghost. Gotta remember those Yarikawa dudes was crazy, bro. They were saying for the ghost every second they could. Oh, I assume they're firing at, ooh, we could do a devious thing right here. Oh yeah, we're about to do, it's too much, don't worry, bro. I got you. I gotcha, bro. Yeah.
No! Stay back!
Nope. And with that, Oiso Fishing Village has been liberated. And we have continued to honor the legacy of the first ghost. And we protect the people of this village and help the Matsumai fight Lord Saito once more. And of course, we have the ability to upgrade, pretty sure, just checking to make sure nothing new pops up. One of two things, horse charge or mounted tackle. I am going to do horse charge recovery. Horse charge impacts to have a minor chance to recover 3 spirit. That is amazing. Even though I don't really use the horse charge much, still good to have. Now, let's get our rewards.
A moment, please. My men and I owe you our lives. The Onryo is what they say and more. I will make sure my commander knows this port is ours because of you.
Please, send him my personal regards.
I will, at my own risk. Take care. Keep up the fight.
Man, there are definitely some assholes in Clan Matsumai, but damn, there are some good dudes. Like, some of them are like, yeah, you helped us, thank you, you saved our lives, you the homie for that. And you know what's funny? Previous chapters they mentioned how guns are cowardly. I think, granted, it doesn't make sense in terms of like Japan, obviously, but there was a lot of gunfighting and war, or a lot of battles in the south that had guns. I don't think Clan Matsumai participated in any of those battles, because Jubei mentions that he never went south. So that means I have a feeling Clan Matsumai never went or participated in any battle in the south, in the actual main island of Japan, which would make sense why they see guns as a little cowardly overall, even though they are brutally effective. It actually has, this time around, a lore reason why these samurai might be against new stuff. It actually kind of makes a lot of sense again. I'm not going to try to ramble again because I already rambled a lot about Jin Sakai and the beauty of that mission. But yeah, there we go. With that, another village has been liberated and only a few more left to liberate. Next up, I think we're going to go actually to this Pillar of the Fallen. It's right over here. And is it up there? It looks like it is. So I assume I have to climb up. And then do this.
We need that woman alive to make her an example.
Damn it, these bastards are ruining it. Alright, let's deal with these bastardos real quick. We should have just enough time to deal with these bastards and then collect the swords and most likely end today's chapter. This one unironically might reach an hour mark, which I will happily give it. as a way to honor this game, Jin, and everything.
Lord Saito gave us a mission. Find and ensnare the Onryo.
Come on. There we go. That's 2 down.
Lord Saito wants to make an example of her.
Okay, that should kill you, but... Well, fuck you. Yeah, you thought you was sweet, thought you was sweet. You thought you was sweet. Take that to Wrath. Yeah. Bastardos think you tough. Think you hot. Alright, now let's collect this blade. It's a frog-themed one. I like the little frogs on the hilt. I'm gonna say Kairu's fortune. Let's take a look. Lord Kirita's sword kit. A man of charm and words. A deal was struck to journey home, but no words or samurai would save him from Saito. Interessante. Okay, the hilt is a weird blue color compared to the green sheath. I like it, but it seems like it's a mix of colors that seem to clash a little bit. The greens are pretty cool since they're supposed to represent a frog, given the fact that the handle of the sword is supposed to represent a frog, as we saw earlier. So, pretty cool overall. Also, just look at the beauty of the Stormblade. After checking the time, we have indeed run out of time for today's chapter, which is A-okay, because we did a lot of amazing things today. And it honestly has just been an amazing journey so far, with all of the content we have done, the story, the side content, the open world, and especially now, the mythical tale that honors the legacy of the first game, honors the legacy of Jin Sakai and of the Ghost as an identity, and as a fellow Ghost, I just found it amazing and beautiful and all that. So, yeah, I hope you are all enjoying this series and this chapter as much as I am. And with that, we conclude today's chapter of our journey into Ghost of Yotei. I hope you all enjoyed today's chapter as much as I did. Until next time, this is Ghost, signing out.